Hello and welcome back to BS Rugby and to the final watch along of the weekend. It's Scotland against Australia at BT Murrayfield, and we're all set for this game here on the channel. Hope everyone is doing very well this afternoon. Welcome along to this afternoon kickoff. And as I said, it is Scotland against Australia, but I'm not alone today. I have a special guest returning to the channel since the Six Nations. I want to say that it's been that long, but I'm really excited to welcome my good friend Kyle back onto the channel. Kyle, how you doing, my man? You good?
Yes, good, Brandon. Been a long time. Lovely to speak to you again. How are you keeping?
Yeah, I'm very well, very well. Enjoying the rugby. You getting back into rugby?
Yes. Been a bit lazy with it since the Lions tour, I'll be honest. Kind of gone sidetracked, but looking to get back into it more now, and looking forward to today's game.
Yeah, it should be a good game. And two teams that are on form and playing really good styles of rugby. And I thought just before we get into it, just to remind folks, hit the subscribe button. By the way, like the stream, it does help. And get involved in the chat. Let us know your thoughts on the game. And of course, make sure to check out Kyle's channel as well, Capostaki, and check that out. I'll drop a link in the chat.
Sorry, Brandon. It's just Starkey.
Sorry, I will drop a link. I'll drop a link in the chat during the afternoon. Before we look forward to this game, let's take a quick look back. And I want to jog your memory a little bit, Kyle. Let's see how many of these you remember. Scotland last time faced against Australia back in 2017 in the November internationals, winning this one by 53 points to 24. What are your memories of this game? Do you remember much of it?
Yes, I was actually there, Brandon.
Ooh, okay.
Yes, I remember it very well. The real turning point was when the prop Kepu got sent off for shouldering Hamish Watson in the head. It was a red card. And the game really spun our favour from there with the man advantage. We played some really good rugby that day. But Yeah, and Australia, I think they just seemed to, after they went a man down, just seemed to drop the ball. They didn't seem to have that much interest in the second half, but we took advantage of it. And 50 points over any of the big three Southern Hemisphere nations, I'll take that any day of the week.
Absolutely. The time before that was actually in Australia, out in Sydney. Australia actually losing this one as well, 19 points to 24 to Scotland. Hamish Watson getting on the try score there. But the last game at Murrayfield before the big hammering by Scotland was back in 2016. A very narrow win for the Aussies, 23 points to 22. So it seems as if you've been trading a little bit over the past few years with results, who wins, who doesn't win. How are you feeling about Scotland at the minute? Because you obviously beat Tonga, didn't you, very comfortably. But how are you feeling about Scotland in general at the minute?
Pretty good, actually. I hope that's not a curse for for anything that's going to come up today. But no, it's generally pretty good. I think a few of our boys will have gained some confidence from the Lions tour, even though it was a series defeat. Ali Price especially. I was very impressed with how, I don't think anyone had him as the first choice Lions scrum half going into that tour, and then he became the first choice. And I thought he was definitely one of the players who can come out of that with a lot of confidence. Finn Russell, that third test, when he came on, I thought he actually brought some spark into the Lions back line. So a lot of confidence there. And obviously up front, we have Jamie Ritchie playing very well as well, and Mish looking good as well. So yeah, just like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I think we're in a confident place. We've got gone for pretty much our first team on this one. A few newbies came in last week and showed we've got some decent depth. So at the moment, all positive. I'm just hoping we can take it into the game today.
Yeah, exactly. I think the thing with the Tonga game, it's difficult to know how much to read into that because, of course, Tonga weren't great without a lot of their players, although they did get pumped by England this week. But it was good to see some debutants have really good games, like Steyn had a great game, Rufus McLean as well also had good games. And let's talk about the teams then. This is how Scotland line up. I'll go through it and I'll get your thoughts on it. So as you can see, Stuart Hogg returns at fullback. The English-based players are back after the international window officially opened. So he starts at fullback with Darcy Graham and Duran van der Merwe on the wings. Centre partnership then is Chris Harris and Sam Johnson, with Finn Russell returning from Racing alongside Ali Price. In the front row then, Pierre Schumann retains his place in the front row alongside George Turner and Xander Fagerson. Sam Skinner and Grant Gilchrist are the lock options, while the back row looks pretty tasty. Jamie Ritchie, Hamish Watson and Matt Fagerson. What's your response to that team? What do you make of it? You're happy with that team, as you said before? It is pretty much your starting 15, isn't it?
Yes, I'm happy enough. I think that would have been more or less the team I would have gone for. Probably a little bit surprised that Kyle Steyn is on the bench and not starting after he scored 4 tries last week. But no, I think it's probably the best we've got available. I'm a bit surprised that Sean Maitland wasn't picked in the initial squad. I don't know why. Maybe his age or whatever. And obviously Rory Sutherland, our first choice loosehead prop, is injured just now. Doesn't look like he's going to be back for the rest of the autumn internationals. So no, I think all good. It's as good as we have available to us.
Indeed. Let's have a look at the Aussie team. There's a couple of interesting pronunciations which I'll try to get right, but forgive me if I absolutely butcher a few of them. Starting with the fullback, then at fullback, Andrew Kellaway starts at fullback with Tom Wright. And then you got Len Ikitau in the centre alongside Hunter Pasaimi. Jordan Patia is on the wing. James O'Connor, what a throwback that is at 10. No Quade Cooper. He's decided to remain in Japan alongside a few others as well. Nick White plays at 9 in the front row. James Slipper alongside Flau Fainga. Alan Alalatoa plays in the front row as well. The lock partnership then is Rory Roda and Rob Leotoa, with very experienced captain Michael Hooper at 7 and Rob Valentini at 8. Now, Australia have been on a good run of form over the last few games. They obviously beat the Springboks, Quade Cooper with a kick there. Last week, they travelled to Japan, getting a win over there, winning that one 32 points to 23. But they do come with a lot of their less experienced players coming over. What's your reaction to that team as a Scotsman? Concerned, or is it what you expected, do you think?
Considering who's available, I think that's close to what I expected. I know they've been improving a lot under Dave Rennie this year. Can't say I'm surprised at that because obviously I think I rate him highly as a coach for what he's done with Glasgow and of course the Chiefs when he was in New Zealand. But I'm a bit surprised with James O'Connor at 10, actually. I think that's going to be interesting to see how he does. And obviously, they have Andrew Kellaway, the fullback. He was the top try scorer in the Rugby Championship. He's got a knack for scoring tries and a bit of pace on him. Because I've not really watched the Rugby Championship that much, so I can't say that much more. But yeah, I think it's concerned. I don't know. I think they're very capable, but I think we should be confident.
Yeah, definitely. And let's get into some of your comments. Sorry, folks. It's taking me a bit of a while. Mark, hope you're doing well. Welcome along. Welcome, Johan. Johan, I am not from Scotland. Kyle is, but I'm Welsh. We stand with our Celtic brothers. So that is what's going on today. I am 100% Welsh, yes. Can you speak Scottish Gaelic or Gaelic? No, there we go.
Sorry, mate.
LouTube in the chat. Come on, Scotland should be a good game. Greg is back in Scotland to win. Mark wants Australia to win. And of course, it's the last international for Roman Poit, or Roman something else I used to call him back in the day. But we won't do that on his final game today. Yeah. I thought we'd have a look at two battles in this game, just as the teams are preparing to come out. And I think these are the two outstanding players on the pitch today. They are so good at what they do. It's these two, Hamish Watson and Michael Hooper. Talk to me of your unfailing love for Hamish Watson. What makes him such a good player for Scotland?
Well, I don't think anything I haven't described already on your channel before, Brandon. Just the way he offers something different to a lot of other sevens, because he doesn't come across as the biggest, but I think he's got a nifty footwork, and obviously his work rate at the breakdown I think is second to none. It's where maybe a slight side issue is where I was disappointed that Warren Gatland didn't pick him for the third test of the Lions, because I think there was times he could have made a difference over Tom Curry there. No, I think I've just kind of come across as repeating myself, because I just think he's almost the complete package, and he's just very awkward for any opponents, and he almost always breaks the first tackle. So, yeah. That's
What about Michael Hooper? What do you make of him? He's been so experienced, hasn't he? But I feel like he took over from David Pocock, that role of being the jackler for Australia, didn't he? And he's one of the best in the world now, isn't he?
Yeah. I mean, I think especially like in this year, from what I've seen of him, he's really stepped up. He's really taken on that role. I think he's always been a very good rugby player, and that was I know this was back in 2015. It's where Pocock and him, they complemented each other very well. After that, they kind of went south a bit. But I mean, Hooper has always been a generally very consistent performer, and obviously we all know about how he does at the breakdown, and sort of as someone that you need to be very strong to get him off the ball. If he's got a sniff, he's capable of taking a mile.
Exactly. Final battle that I thought we'd point out with these two. It is, of course, Ritchie against Valentini. Very different players, but both will have a big impact on this game. Let's talk about Jamie Ritchie first of all. I feel like he's one of the unsung heroes of this Scotland team. What do you make of him?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It was just kind of a shame that the summer matches were cancelled, because I think he was going to be captain of that tour. No, I think I've got a lot of time for Jamie Ritchie. He's always very consistent. Works his arse off every game. I describe him as the sort of Scottish. I'm not saying he's as good as this player was in his day, but I think he's the Scottish version of Richard Hill. That he does a lot of brilliant work, a lot of unseen work that the average punter watching the game might not appreciate as much as those of us who look into the detail of what's going on a bit more. And obviously, last week, I think his ball handling looks like it's come on a lot. There was one excellent pass he made last week that set us up for a try. Yeah. So, no, I think, he's still doing what he's doing, very consistent. And, I think hopefully he'll be at his best today. Yeah,
let's talk about Valentini then. Big ball carrier burst onto the scene recently. with Australia. Do you feel like Australia may have the edge in the pack? They're a little bit bigger than you guys. Do you think that's something they'll be looking to target?
I don't know about target because, as we know, Australia, they're not traditionally the most renowned scrummagers in World Rugby. Although from what I've gathered, Dave Rennie has been improving them there. In terms of, again, the size thing, I'm so on. I think like a lot of that comes down to technique and making sure you're getting on the right side when it comes to the scrums. That is, so I think the scrums. I don't know. Like, I think it'll be. I think we might have a slight edge there. I mean, it'll be more of the breakdown. I think would be, sort of either won or lost, or like or maybe 50-50. Yeah. Yeah,
I think that area is massive, isn't it? And both teams are very good in those areas, and we're in for a good game because both teams want to run with the ball. I'm going to ask you the big question as the Australian national anthem is playing in the background. What is your prediction for this game? How do you see it going?
Oh,
what does your heart say? Do they say different things?
I'll say Scotland by 3-7.
Okay, interesting. I'm actually going to go the opposite way to you, I'm afraid. I am going to back Australia to win. I just think they've been playing against very high quality opposition over the past few months. And but I am concerned about James O'Connor at 10, as you said. He normally is a fullback, and Quade Cooper had come back into the team and was fantastic for them, really.
Yeah.
And he kicked that fantastic goal kick against the Springboks to win that game. So I'm going to back Australia. You're going to back Scotland. Naturally, you wouldn't be Scottish if you didn't. Let's have a look. Mark is backing Australia to win 32-25, so a high-scoring game. But let's have a quick chat then about one more thing, is the fans. The fans are back in Murrayfield, obviously, for this game. Against Tonga, you're always going to win that game. How much of an impact can they have? Because I think they're not quite as good as the Welsh fans, but they're not far off. So how much of an impact do you think they could have on this game?
I think I'll just switch off there, Brandon. See ya. Absolutely. I mean, it's absolutely brilliant that we're seeing fans back in the stadium, and we're actually getting folk along to enjoy the rugby. However, obviously, we have had our events over the past couple of weeks with various idiots, let's say that, who I think have maybe just been a bit too frustrated in lockdown, to put it politely, who have decided to get a bit of headlines. But no, hopefully we won't see that today. I know I joke. I know I left a wee comment joking about it, but no, it's absolutely not something that should be acceptable at all. And hopefully we'll see a well-behaved fans today. They normally are at Murrayfield.
Yeah, exactly. Let's not talk too much about the idiots who nearly cost us the game yesterday. Although I do think
it was a forward pass.
Although I do think South Africa deserved to win. We're ready to go. So Kyle is back in Scotland, and I am back in Australia to get the win here. This is the final game of the weekend. So thank you for joining. Make sure to subscribe to myself here on BS Rugby, and I will now drop a link in the chat to Kyle's channel. Do go check it out. He makes great quick reviews after games, so do go check it out. And of course, as a Scotsman, he's completely non-biased, so like so I'll drop that in the chat.
I try to be fair, but sometimes
we're all fans at the end of the day.
Yeah,
we're all fans at the end of the day. Just before kick-off, then we'll quickly run through the teams one last time then. So Stuart Hogg starts at fullback, Darcy Graham and Duan van der Merwe on the wing, Sam Johnson and Chris Harris in the centre, Finn Russell and Ali Price on 9 and 10, Schumann, Turner and Ferguson on the front row, with Sam Skinner, Grant Gilchrist in the locks, Jamie Ritchie, Hamish Watson and Matt Ferguson on the back row. And then for Australia, you got Andrew Kellaway at fullback, Tom Wright and Jordan Pataya on the wings, Hunter Pasami and Len Ikitau are in the centre, with Nick White and James O'Connor at 9 and 10. In the front row, then you got James Slipper, Flau Fainga, Alan Alalatoa, and then you got Rory Arnold, Isaac Rodar in the locks. And the back row is Rob Leota, Michael Hooper and Rob Valentini. We're ready for kickoff here. Hope you enjoy the watch along. We will try and sync our times together. I think we'll be pretty close. I'd imagine so. So we'll just wait and see. Both sets of players are ready to go. We're just awaiting the first whistle. But we're just waiting to see Mr. Roman Poit get us going. In a very warm Murrayfield, as always. It's warm for Scotland today, isn't it?
It is, aye. It's not too bad. It was a bit damp earlier. It's been raining quite a lot this week, so but it's not. It's a nice day today. So hopefully we'll see some running,
isn't it?
Yeah. So hopefully we'll see some running rugby, which, as we know, both teams on paper are very capable of.
Indeed. So Roman Poit looks at his watch. Australia all set to go, and off we go. So I've just kicked off.
Starting now.
Yeah, just about kicked off now.
All right, I'm a bit behind you.
Okay, I'll try not to spoil things for you too much. Let me pause it, actually, and let me know once. I'm on 12 seconds, so let me know once you get to there. And we'll keep going from there.
Aye. Yeah. Awkward with Amazon Prime, isn't it?
Let me know once you're on 12 seconds, and we can go from there.
Okay, just kicking off now. Yeah.
There we go. Give me a countdown from 10, and then from 10 seconds onwards, and then we'll
just kicking off now. Kicked off now, Brandon. So you can just play.
Okay, cool. We'll get it going. So there we go. Scotland against Australia. Kyle's joining me for this one. First 20 minutes, what do you want to see from Scotland? How do you want to see you settle into the game?
Just keep the ball for a bit. Try and not give them anything cheap. Try and play down in their half. All the simple things, really.
Charge down there from Australia, but
come on, no!
But eventually saved by the Scottish. And Scotland have a chance to play from their own 22. And they'll go through the forwards. What do you think about this autumn? Do you think it's important to get wins, or do you think it's more about performances and bringing people into the squad? Because it's 2 years out from a World Cup now.
Well, you know, the win's always nice, and of course we've got tough games against Australia and South Africa. So if we can, I'd say if we can win at least one of those two, I'd be happy with that, and the other one at the very least come close. And yeah, I mean, like I said, we just when we can show we're actually making progress, because I want us to be really challenging for the Six Nations when it comes around. Not saying we'll win it, of course, but I want us to be like at the very least, you know, showing where we can actually challenge and, you know, and be at least in the top two. Yeah,
very much so. I thought last year was a good progression from Scotland, and I was listening to an interview with, that's a lovely kick from Finn Russell, but it is kept in. Just about kept in there. Of course, you've got the rule, the 50-22 rule, which can be now implemented. Do you think that's something Scotland will look to use a lot today?
Yeah, I think that's actually been pretty positive, because with the kicking game, we've seen it being a bit more accurate, and players are, you know, trying to keep it in the pitch a bit more. Although obviously we can avoid the ping pong kicking battles, that's always nice. And there's been a couple of times I've seen that a little bit too much, but I mean, at least it's keeping the ball a bit more lively, because teams don't want to be like because if they just touch down over the ball line, they've not really gained very much by having to kick off from their own goal line. So I think overall it looks a pretty positive rule so far.
Yeah, definitely. Let's have a look at some more of your comments. Thomas is back in Scotland.
Oh, yeah, got him isolated there.
And Scotland are throwing the ball about quite nicely. It's a little bit loose.
Oh, come on. Too.
And we have a supporter
I think Finn's kicking a bit too much too early.
Australia take the quick penalty. Hooper carries.
Come on. He was onside. Oh, never mind.
And James O'Connor looks a little kick in behind. And Scotland looking to run this. Hogg caught though, but gets it off. It's been a little bit scrappy so far, and Australia have the penalty just outside the 22.
Side entry, yeah.
in either side there, an opportunity for Australia potentially to take the points. You'd think they'd want to get something on the board early on here. Michael Hooper in discussion.
I think they'll go for the points.
Yeah,
I think
they'll go for the points. Yeah. A bit of a crazy start there, a bit all over the place, wasn't it? Not much structure from it either side really, but Australia with the first chance to get some points.
Aye. I mean, I don't know why Finn kicked that because that last one because he only had Jamie Ritchie on the wing. So I thought they should have kept it in the hands a bit more and just be a bit more patient.
I think it's also going to take a bit of an adjustment time as well because against Tonga, no disrespect to Tonga, but it's like a training game, isn't it, really? And then this is a real step up because Australia is so much better than they were 2 years. 2 years ago, people were like, what is going on with Australian rugby? And now, they are challenging some of the best teams in the world. They're probably in the top 5 teams in the world right now. So, certainly knocking out that door. So it's going to be a much bigger test. So James O'Connor, first kick for him. Will he be successful? Let's have a look. Steps up, he kicks, and he's absolutely sliced it horrifically. And it remains 0-0. So it remains 0-0. Poor kick that from James O'Connor. Not connect cleanly with it at all. But Scotland with the 22 dropout. And Hogg's going to take it. So I reckon this is going to go quite the distance.
No.
What have you made of the first 5 minutes? Bit all over the place.
Yeah. I mean, it was sloppy from Sam Skinner there, just going in from the side. I know he was trying to clear out, but he needed to be disciplined with how he was entering the breakdown there. Oh, come on.
Knock on there. So a scrum to the Aussies. Just outside the 22, I want to say. Yeah, just outside the 22, knock on from Stuart Hogg.
Aye. I mean, that's a tactic because of the rush defenses, we're seeing a lot more kicks in behind. I think we've seen it pretty much all autumn. So
I think it's something the All Blacks implement most things very, very well, but it's something that they are constantly looking for, aren't they? Constantly looking for those little spaces in behind. We won't talk too much about us against the All Blacks a couple of weeks ago. I don't know what happened. I don't remember. Let's not. I don't remember what happened.
54 points, something, wasn't it?
Yeah. The scrum goes down. So I'll have a reset here. Just outside the 22. It's actually a really good position for Australia to launch their attack right in the centre of the field. And first scrum is going to be interesting to see who gets the dominance here. Australia with a little bit more weight, but nothing much between the two sides. We won't talk about scrums either after yesterday.
To be fair, I thought actually you did quite well against because obviously the Springboks driving Mull. I thought you did generally held your own okay. It was just that last one where Malcolm Marks got the try, you sort of slipped off a bit, and South Africa, they take advantage of that. So,
penalty to Scotland at the scrum.
Yeah.
So Scotland draw first blood at the scrum.
It's James Slipper.
Yeah.
Slipper having a slip
So opportunity for Scotland, for Finn Russell to send this down field, and Finn Russell sends it down towards just over the halfway line here. So chance for Scotland to start building something, but that's important, isn't it? The scrum, something we really struggled with yesterday was to get that platform in the scrum. The line out was so much better this week, but the scrum was a massive issue. And I know the Springboks are are the best in the world probably at scrummaging, but you want to be a little bit more competitive than that. Interesting line-out routine, but I think there's a
forward.
I think that's what Roman Platter's called for.
Yeah, correct. Right move, correct. Right idea, just executed poorly. So.
Yes, so you can see the game plan straight away from Scotland. They're trying to throw it, speed the game up. What did you make of the other games yesterday? What games did you catch yesterday?
I saw the Wales South Africa one. I saw a bit of the England one. I didn't get to see the Ireland one, and I saw France against most of France against Argentina. I missed a bit at the end.
Good game, that wasn't it? France Argentina, especially in the second half. I thought that was a good game.
I mean, I mean, that new fullback France have, I can't remember his name. He looks pretty good. I have to say, he looks pretty good. He was doing their goal kicking. No, but that's something now. They've got him, kicking the goals, and they've got Ntamak and Jalibert as the 10-12. So that's,
The try for, I can't remember who it was, but Jalibert got tackled, and he was on the floor and pops up this beautiful offload. Sprains his hand and runs through.
Again, sorry, I can't remember his name. That new lock who was apparently a university student
last year. Isn't he?
He's, no, I mean, not just his height. He's his running abilities and his skill. Apparently, he used to be a back. It's like,
Oh wow! Australia kick loosely to Darcy Graham, which is, there's an advantage. Scotland have taken it quickly. Darcy Graham, just outside the 22. Here comes Schumann, carries strong, challenge to go wide, kick through, but is claimed by Australia, and the advantage was over, so Australian ball. Still no points in this opening 10 minutes. Strange to see the decision there was to kick.
Yeah, I think I would have kept it in hand again. I think we're just overdoing it a bit too much at the minute. With the kicking, I mean. Maybe a bit. I mean, I know we're trying to play a fast game, but sometimes just go through the hands and build some phases, and then let the opportunities come to you. Yeah,
he's a little bit loose. Duan van der Merwe, first chance to get to see him. He finds Darcy Graham, who steps away beautifully. The space out wide. The intercept comes in. The cover defense is there. Knock on. I think there was an advantage anyway from the knock on.
Yeah. I think it was knocked on at the high ball there. So no advantage.
Darcy Graham already shown some lovely feet. Reminds me of Shane Williams a little bit.
Yeah,
that kind of.
I've said for a few years now, I think he's our version of Shane Williams. Not saying he's as good as. Don't get me wrong. I don't think he's as good as Shane was, but I think he's got. He's that style of player. And
he's been exceptional for Edinburgh this season as well. Absolutely brilliant so far. So
yeah, absolutely. They showed last week he can play a bit of fullback too. I'm not sure about putting him there against the better teams because I think
Springboks bombing high balls on him.
That's something I'm pretty nervous about next week actually because.
Well, it's very contrasting styles, isn't it? You're going from free-flowing rugby against the Aussies to playing against the Boks, who are going to want to keep it tight. But maybe your style would suit more against the Springboks, because in the summer, as we saw with the Lions, that don't work, does it? It doesn't work to try and beat them up front.
Yeah, no, I mean, but again, that was the thing that killed the Lions in the second test, was that ability into the high ball. And sadly, Stuart Hogg didn't have his best game there in that. And, so
and Liam Williams decided not to pass. So
yes, that's the thing that actually that was the third test that sort of pissed me off a bit, because Liam Williams missed the tackle that led to Colby's try in that third test. And if it was Stuart Hogg who missed it, everyone would have just had a field day and rollicked him. It's Liam Williams, like, that's just Liam Williams. It's maybe I'm biased with who I'm reading, but that's what I think. It's like, be consistent. You'd be crucifying Hogg for this, you crucify Williams for this.
Yeah, have a bit of consistency. Ashman is on for Turner. I'm not sure if it's an injury or just a HIA.
I think that's possibly an HIA.
So he'll be off. He didn't look too happy going off, but scrum for Scotland on the halfway line, right next to the touch line. Ali Price will feed. Scotland have won 2 of the scrums already. So scrum goes straight down, and penalty to Australia this time. So a little bit of inconsistencies from both sides.
He's just balancing it up as dear old Roman.
Going out on a high.
Trust me, he doesn't know what he's. I mean, there's times like it's just when it just drops down like that. You're just thinking you're just picking the first one you see, even though if it's maybe not that player's fault as to why
You are a
infringed.
referee, so how much do you know of what's actually going on, or do you have an idea? Do you have you see a scrum go down a certain way? You've seen that before, so you're thinking it's more likely this.
Yeah, if I take a personal view. If I am really absolutely unsure and it goes down, I just reset. I know that for the observer that can be quite boring, but I am one of those who doesn't like to give a penalty just for the sake of giving a penalty. But if I clearly see the first one's not binding properly and they've just either taken it down or they're just driving in the wrong way, then you just go by what you generally just go by the first thing you see that looks illegal. So
knock on from Australia in the attack there in the 22, and neither team can really get the flow and the cohesion going, can they? So
no, still early days, but it's
so still trying to get by. 15 minutes nearly gone, still 0-0. Afternoon to everyone joining in the chat. A couple of you getting involved. That try should not have been disallowed. I still think Malcolm Marks went forward when he should have gone back. I still feel like he should have, but I don't think it would have been.
That's the other thing I did. Yeah, I did rewatch a video of that. It did seem very harsh because the three players he was pinning, they didn't advance forward. It has to be like a 10-meter rule. It was it was nitpicky to say the least, I thought.
Yeah. It was very 50-50. Could have gone either way. Hello to you as well. Good to see you back in the chat. Once again, Andy's backing Australia 29-27, Scotland.
Oh, yes, we've got the penalty now. Cool. Oh, no. That was forward. Come on.
I thought it was forward as well, but we carry on. Hogg with ball in hand. Lovely feet from Stuart Hogg. He breaks into the space. He's got Ali Price. Who's he got in support? Duhan van der Merwe into the 22. Tackled. I swear there's been 2 or 3 in this phase of play. And penalty to Scotland. Big chance there for Scotland. There was just no breakdown, was there?
No, that's obviously I can't go for that. That's a referee. That's a referee's call. If the referee calls it out, then you can, but he obviously didn't. So
what will Scotland decide to do? Do you think you'll take the points here, or would you go for the corner?
I would take the. Are we going? It looks like we're going for the point corner. Are we? I would take the point. I would take the points just to get us on the board.
Van der Merwe, let him do what he does best. We'll see at the breakdown here. Ali Price has to go in and clear that rock, and Australia probably a bit lucky to still have 50 on the pitch.
So Scotland have gone for the corner, win the line out. The driving maul is set. And the drive starts to move. It is Ashman at the back. On the 5-meter line, referee calls it once. Ashman gives it to Ali Price. Ali Price. Oh, and it's knocked on by Finn Russell, and Australia have an opportunity to counter-attack. James O'Connor comes forward, spots the gap in behind, plays it through. It's not a bad kick. Hogg will gather it, though. And he pulled over his own try line. He's popped it up, though, for Darcy Graham, who eventually clears it. Scrum to Australia, 5 meters out.
Yeah, touched it down. That's
and an opportunity for Australia. It is 0-0, John. It's 0-0. It's on the bottom of your screen, mate. So you keep an eye on that.
I want to have a look at that again.
0-0. I'm not sure if this went down. Did he hit it down? Yes, he did. He did, didn't he? When he hits the ground.
I'm slightly out of your time here. Ooh, that was tight. That is close. The ball has to be touching the ground. So.
Oh, he's given the line out.
Oh, hi. That was a close one.
Very, very close.
I think there's no. Yeah, it didn't look like it. They can't really give that because it didn't look like it really clearly touched the ground at all. So
yeah.
What is he looking at now?
Let's have a look. Oh, no, I don't think he actually does. I think he hits his arm on the grass.
Yeah, no, it doesn't look like it's clear.
But now he's given a scrum. Roman Platt saying the ball was grounded. Oh, it does. It does. Yes, it does. You'll see in a second. You'll see in a second. He'll slow it right down for you, and you'll see.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough.
Just touches there. A little bit of confusion there for everyone. But scrum to Australia, 5 meters out. Now, their scrum has not been great. So I think they'll look to get this out pretty quickly.
Stevens from both sides in the scrum so far.
Yeah.
Oh, I just wish we'd been.
So here we go, Australia. First time really they've been in your 22 and looked like they have a real opportunity to do something here. So all the players bar 1 or 2, Nick Phipps is right. Not Nick Phipps, Nick White.
Nick White.
Nick Phipps is the one who plays for London Irish, isn't it?
Yes, I think so. And Nick White used to play for Exeter. I don't think he plays for them anymore.
Ball comes out. Nick White gets it out. Sami carries 2 meters out. Penalty to Scotland, though. Double movement, apparently. Double movement. I didn't spot that, but he says double movement, so penalty.
I think it was. I think you roll forward, which you can't do after you're tackled. You have to.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at that.
And Scotland cleared it.
I think Mish played a role there as well.
Let's have a look. He gets tackled there. Yeah, he does. Just the smallest of roles. Good afternoon to you, Martin. Hope you're doing well, mate. Good to have you in the chat once again.
Yeah, that's one of those frustrating ones because it's very like.
He does though, doesn't he?
That is the law. Like when he's on the ground and he's clearly tackled, he has to place it. But no, he can't roll forward again after he's stopped moving when he's on the ground.
So it remains 0-0, nearly 20 minutes into this game. How do you summarise this from a Scotland perspective? It's been all over the place, hasn't it, so far?
Yeah, I mean, we had one good breakaway just prior to all that going on. We can't seem to keep it fluid in the hands so far. Like we do a couple of good things, look like we're creating something, and then we either kick it away or we drop it. And need to just try and be a bit slicker, a bit more patient as well, and just not try not to force the chances. Just let know.
Yeah,
we've got the players to break them down. Just have to be a bit more like go through the phases, let the gaps appear for themselves, let the forward have opportunities when the forwards are up against backs, and then things will take care of themselves a bit more.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Scotland have kicked as much as they have. I thought they'd play a lot more in hand. The ball somehow gets back on the Scottish side from that line out.
Yeah. Obviously, with the kicking, is to do with the new law now with regards to if you kick it forward and it does, let's say if it bounces and goes into touch in the opponent's 22, then you get the line out. So, but you have to be super accurate with your kick.
Yeah, absolutely. So James O'Connor will look to send this one down, which he does. Heading down towards Hogg, who collects. Is he going to run? Yes, it looks like he is. Stuart Hogg, tackled just before the halfway line. Finn Russell, a little bit of space out to left. Lovely offload into the hands of Schumann. It's still there, but stolen illegally by Australia. So penalty to Scotland. Lovely offload there from Finn.
Yeah, that's Tim at his best. Just A bit of a shame there wasn't a stepper outside. It was Schumann who was the...
It's a good kick, though, by Finn to get you guys down into the 22. So opportunity once again to try and build something. 20 minutes gone, 0-0. Chance here. It doesn't look like Turner's going to come back on, does it? Really, at this point, you wouldn't think so.
He's 20, about 10 minutes, so he's not another 10 minutes before he can come back on. And I haven't heard the commentator say any differently.
No. Scotland with an advantage here, though, in the 22. Michael Hoop has stolen that, I think, but the penalty will be there for Scotland, and you'd think they take the points here.
Yes, we should.
After all that dominance, you want to come away with something here. A comment here. Finn Russell is magic. Best Six Nations fly half. Do you agree?
Like cuteness.
Do you agree?
Yes. Although I will say, I think. Although I will say, I think Marcus Smith is one who's going to be for. He's got some talent, doesn't he?
Yeah,
to say the least.
Definitely.
Just take the points.
Gone to the corner. Must be confident. Interesting choice there. If you don't come away with a score
if we're not coming away with at least 7 points here, and yes, I said 7, not 5, then.
Hamish Watson, Cavies, he's going to the line. He's going to score. Yes, he is.
Oh, yes.
And Scotland take the lead. The former man himself, Hamish Watson, gets on the scoreline, and it is Scotland 5, Australia 0 from the driving maul. And it's an interesting maul because it comes down, they pop it back again, and then Hamish Watson takes it through, and that's a lovely score. Very similar to the one he scored against South Africa. I want to say he scored against South Africa a few years ago.
Yeah, no, that one where it was a more like it popped to the front and then he ran straight in. This was just straight off the maul. So
lovely.
Yeah, but no, that's very, very good. I'm happy with that.
Lovely work there from Scotland. And the decision to go to the corner doesn't look too silly now.
If we get the conversion, it will.
Yeah, you want 7 points, don't you? No pressure, Finn Russell. Step up. Kyle's watching.
Hey. If it had been, if it had been once, I would have said, okay, 5 I can get. But we've had 3 times we've gone for this. Now we need to.
Oh, they're checking something.
Oh, what? Oh, they always do this.
They're checking something. I'm not sure what they're looking for.
Oh yes, dear old Marius. Rassi Erasmus's mate, apart from after that first test. The
amount of times the water boys seem to be on that pitch yesterday.
Well, it wasn't Rassi though. It was the water boy yesterday. So I think he was.
What are they trying to look for here?
Okay, it was.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay, let's.
So it's on a Gilchrist and he's holding the ball to make contact, and then Hamish Watson takes it.
There's nothing wrong with that, is there?
The ball, we have 2 ball carriers. There's nothing more than we could watch on the field.
Nothing wrong with that?
No, nothing wrong. It's all try for Scotland. The try counts. Scotland.
Yeah.
5.
No, sorry, I went quiet. Sorry, I went quiet there. I was just really trying to think. What is he looking for?
Yeah, well, I wasn't even sure what he was truly looking for either.
I think it's to do with the law about the long arm transfer. I think, which most referees ignore anyway. So, yeah, not saying that's necessarily right. Just most referees seem to have mixed views on it.
Finn Russell kicks and is successful. So Scotland leads 7 points to 0. 23 minutes gone. Let's just update the scoreboard.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Oh God, don't want to do that. There we go. Perfect. Oh, we haven't even put the 7 on. Good start. Good start. There we go. 7-0 to Scotland.
Very professional, Brandon.
As always. As always. Always professional. There you go. 7-0. 7-0 to Scotland. 25 minutes gone-ish now. 24 minutes, really. Interesting to see how Australia looks to apply, because they just haven't really got anything going whatsoever.
Yeah.
They do have a bit of ball here on the halfway line. James O'Connor.
No.
Tao carries.
They've shown a couple of moments though where their backline showing they're dangerous and broken play, so that's where they need to be.
They are missing some big players like Karevi, someone like that in the middle who can just step beautifully and who can break through defences.
Aye.
A knock on there from Scotland, so scrum to Australia. Scrum to the Australians on around the 10-metre line. It looks like it's a sellout at Murrayfield, I've got to say.
Yeah, yeah. Looks, yeah, that's good to see because it's been a while.
Yeah. Mm. So resetting the scrum once again, one of the joys of watching rugby. So a chance for Australia to do something from here. Ball goes in. It's a big scrum and it went down from an Australian side, and I think it might be James Slipper once again.
Yeah.
And you could see straight away that went down from an Australian point of view.
Loving Jimmy Ritchie's passion there. I think,
I don't know what Australia have to complain there. One of the water guys complaining on the side, but I don't think it has anything to complain about.
Yeah, so again, it's just one of those things with where it feels like a lottery, and
you can see it's clearly him who goes down first.
Because Xander's putting the pressure through, and he's not holding his ground, so he's just taking away the bind illegally.
Scotland switching the direction of play. Darcy Graham's been a little bit quiet, but off he goes now. Tries to chip in behind, it's not going to work, and the fullback Kellaway will call for the mark. There was a little push from Darcy Graham there, but I don't think anything's going to be read too much into that.
No.
So Australia send it down, and there will be a line out to the Scots. So line out to Scotland on the 10-metre line here. They go along with it. It's collected by Ali Price. Tries to pop it up. Finn Russell engulfed by some Australian defenders there. But Darcy Graham acts as scrum half. And here come the forwards. Penalty, though, to Australia.
Bloody Hooper. I think it was Hooper.
He's everywhere, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was Hooper.
Yeah.
We spoke about that battle, didn't we, with him and Hamish Watson, and Hooper over the breakdown is one of the very best.
Mm-hmm. At times so far, we have been a wee bit loose with some of those carrier runners. Yeah.
It's one of the most annoying things in rugby when you're starting to get some momentum. Some guy just gets over the ball.
I actually looking back at that one there, I would say that's more just Hooper brilliant play than Xander Fagerson getting isolated there. But
injury potentially here for Australia, so it's a little break.
Is that Arnold or?
Not too sure.
Or the hooker, Fayanga.
I think it's Fayanga.
Mm-hmm.
So a bit of a chance for some of the players to have a breather. Make sure if you're watching, folks, by the way, to hit the subscribe button. It's free to do. Helps grow the channel. Check out Kyle's channel as well. I've dropped a link in the chat there, so do go click on that, subscribe to his channel, and hear some great thoughts on rugby from him. So half an hour gone, 7-0 to Scotland, 10 minutes to go until half time, and line out to Australia.
An injury, we don't know.
And Fine goes back on his feet.
Is he all right? Okay, that's good. That's good.
He is. So line out to Australia. They win the ball, set up the maul. James O'Connor, a little bit of space out wide here. James O'Connor goes for the kick, which is an interesting choice. Darcy Graham, it bounces awkwardly for him, but he's done pretty well, and that's potentially a high tackle. I thought that was a high tackle from Darcy Graham, but maybe there's a lot of mitigation in that.
Because he was going down. He didn't actually wrap fully around the neck area.
So chance for Scotland to clear their lines. Interesting choice from James O'Connor to kick again. But both teams looking to kick a lot. It's not the greatest clearance, though, from Ali Price, and chance for Australia.
No, that's not good. Yeah.
And chance for Australia to set something up here.
Yeah, that wasn't actually a bad kick at all from O'Connor there. Just maybe about bounce. He could have got a little bit lucky, but
here come Australia then through the forwards, nearly up to the 5-metre line. Some big ball carriers coming through. James O'Connor steps, gives the ball out, and the refs called it back. Obstruction, I think, is what the refs called it for. I didn't notice anything.
Was something at the breakdown? I
think it was an obstruction by Sani, I think, but I didn't see anything. I want to see the replay on this. And Scotland will clear the line, so we won't get a replay of it, but chance for Finn Russell to clear it.
Bloody Amazon.
What do you make of that? Amazon Prime obviously showing these games not free to view anymore. Do you think it's a big problem for rugby, or do you think it's just inevitable with the way things are going?
Well, I'm a traditionalist and I'm a cheapskate, so I would have preferred free to view, in all honesty, Brandon. But Amazon Prime, I wouldn't say is terribly expensive, but yeah, I mean, I would take free to view any day. And it's just more further excuse to fill Jeffrey Bezos's pockets as he lies in their money up in space.
Yeah. I think, you know, the Six Nations obviously is protected by law, I'm pretty sure, on free to view. So that's pretty good. The World Cup as well. So those things like the World Cup, the Football World Cup, the Rugby World Cup are all on free to view. But on Amazon, do you know what? The choice of games I've been really impressed with. Like yesterday, you know, if I wanted to, I could watch Argentina, France, or I could watch New Zealand, Italy. I could watch, unfortunately, South Africa against Wales. You know, there was so much choice out there for the games. And next weekend, there are loads of games again. I mean, if I want to, I can watch Fiji against Wales. I can watch Italy, Georgia, which would be an interesting game. You know, that always raises a lot of questions. That's a great kick from Australia down into the 22. The 50-22 rule does apply as well. I think that was Faianga, not Faianga, the centre. What a kick that is.
50 is just inside, because that's to be inside his own half first. So I think that, that's good. Oh, yeah. Really good kick.
So, Australia, Scotland trying to play it dangerously there. But it is there for Scotland, and Finn Russell will.
Why did you throw it? We do that a few times. Why? Just.
And it's a decent little clearance from Finn Russell there. But Scotland may be risking a little bit too much here.
No, I don't get why any team does that kind of line out in their own 5 meters.
Someone come running in and intercepting it, doesn't it?
I don't know. I just always think the own 5 meter zone. You either go to the front or the middle, you keep it steady, and then you set and you clear your lines.
So Australia set them all on the 10-meter line. Faianga. The maul starts to move for Australia here. This looks pretty good. Advantage to Australia. Ball comes out. James O'Connor gets. And then Kellaway. And it'd be interesting to see what Australia decide to do here. No advantage, and I'd be very surprised if they don't take the points here. Very surprised. If I was Australian, I'd be taking the points.
Yeah. I mean, just to get on the board.
Indeed.
But apart from James O'Connor, who do they really have that's a specialist kicker?
Yeah, exactly. You know, usually be Quade Cooper, but obviously he's not there. So I think it's got to be James O'Connor.
The thing is, Quade Cooper didn't used to be a specialist goal kicker either until fairly recently. So,
yeah.
But he's from what I gathered, he's been playing some of his best rugby this year. Quade Cooper, and the age of 32, 33, I think he is now.
Something like that. Yeah. Australia have gone to the corner, which is an interesting choice, with 5 minutes to go until half time. So they have a line out about 8 meters out. So. Good chance to build something here, and with the maul having worked so well before, I'd be surprised. And they do set up the maul, and it does start to move. Faianga at the back. He pulls away on his own, runs into Finn Russell, tackled though onto the 5 meter line. The ball is there. Nick White, Hooper acts as scrum half. Going through the forwards now. Hooper takes it on himself. Hooper reaches out and scores for Scotland. For Australia. For Australia. Michael Hooper it. Now the question is there double movement? That might be the only thing they can look at here as the handbags come out.
No, don't get into these fights. Not necessary. The
only thing that might save Scotland here is if Michael Hooper's double move there, but I don't think he has.
It looked okay to me. I think he's entitled to stretch out, obviously, as he's tackled. And
I think they're checking it.
Okay,
there was something on potentially Xander Ferguson there.
No,
not Xander Ferguson.
Matt Ferguson, yeah.
Are they going to have a look at this?
I think
there's anything wrong with that.
With Hooper, I think it's fine, but it's what happens here.
Yeah.
That doesn't look as bad, that angle.
I don't think it is. He's gone in with his arm and he's cleared him out on his chest. I personally don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Can we get another replay? Oh, and Xander
It's not
Ferguson.
on the face, Roman Platt. Let's have a look. They're going to have a look at this. Personally, I don't think there's anything wrong here, but I'd want to have a second look.
Yeah, I think the clear out was that they were looking at first was okay.
Yeah.
Because it just looked bad. It was just one angle. It looked pretty bad. But I mean, looking in the second view, it didn't look that bad. So let's have a look. Let's have another look, see if there's. Yeah, caught him in the face, but.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. It's a tough one, though, isn't it? What's your reaction?
I don't know, actually. I mean, because he's definitely caught him around the face, but he hasn't gone in like shoulder charging him directly. I mean, it's reckless, but I think he has made a genuine.
He has caught him slightly, hasn't he? He's brushed his chin.
Aye. I mean, he catches him in the face, definitely. So that's. The
try's going to be ruled out. We know
yeah.
that. Is there anything else going to be to it? Yellow card is what they're talking about.
Oh, it's yellow card. Yeah. I think. Aye, it's because he came in with a swinging arm there. It looks kind of, it looks bad. So
it probably is just about the right decision, I think. The yellow card and a no try. So Australia are going to be down to 10 men for the rest of this half and the start of the second half. Michael Hooper pleading his teammate's innocence.
It's clearly a swinging arm. It's a clear and a head contact.
So it's a yellow card to. So Alalatoa is off.
Yeah. He hasn't. Yeah, I think he hasn't helped himself by the way he swung the arm there, but I don't know.
Exactly.
If he made the.
That's the common in it. Rules are clear about contact with the players. Those are the rules. Big chance for Scotland, though, at the end of this first half and the start of the second.
I was just going to say there before Tina's put his comment there that you're right enough. The fact that if he hadn't made a contact to the face, I think he would have been clearly got away with it. But
So line out to Scotland on the 10-metre line in their own half. They set up the driving ball. Ashman at the back. What's the game plan now? Is it to try and get a try before half time, or is it just to manage the game? It looks like Scotland are going. Big hit on Sam Johnson there. Against the country of his birth, of course.
Yes.
And penalty to Australia at the breakdown. Is it Michael Hooper once again? Yes, it is.
That's a scrum.
I think he's been held up.
Yeah.
You can sense the Australian teams are pretty disappointed with that decision. And this is Stephen was looking for this the tongue and thaw coming on.
Comes on Valentini. They've got to obviously make that change because they're doing a scrum and with a man in the bin.
There's just no continuity.
Yeah, I mean, I will say though, if I was an Australian fan watching, I would be pretty frustrated by that. But that call, I have to say.
The thing is, it is the right call. There's obviously contact with the face. That's the big thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think obviously, like the way he swung the arm hasn't really helped himself. But I mean, you can clearly tell he is trying to go in with attempt to clear it out, but it's just
the thing is he's just brushed the chin, hasn't he? It's not as if he's hitting like full on, took him out. You know, he just
maybe if he had like obviously gone in full force, red card, no question. But I think right enough with yellow, I think.
Yeah, so scrum here, big shove coming on from the Scots. But Australia turn it around, and there's an advantage for Australia here.
Oh, that's a mess.
Another advantage for Scotland. Matt Fagerson penalised. And penalty to Scotland, and surely now they take the points.
In Australia, you mean, mate?
Australia, sorry. Australia will probably take the points now, run the clock down. So they are going for the posts just before half-time. Don't forget at half-time, myself and Carl are going to take a break because I'm down for a cup of tea. So we're going to do that because mine is now empty. So we're going to do that. But we will be back.
Mine empty now as well.
Yeah. But we'll be back just shortly. Don't go anywhere. We'll have a look at that first half and then we'll obviously do the second half as well. What have you made of this first half from a Scottish perspective? How do you summarise it for you guys?
Good that we're 7 points up. At times, I think kicking a bit too much, still a bit sloppy in some parts of the game. Could say we've got a bit lucky to. Again, we'll see how this goes. Got a bit lucky not to have conceded a try there. And yeah, no, I mean, it's going okay. I just, like I said, wish we were more than 7 points up. But
indeed,
I mean, I want to say it's a positive thing that both teams are trying to. Well, I know they're kicking now, but both teams are trying to go for the corner to get the tries. But you know, still a low-scoring game. You want to see more points. So
indeed. So here we go then. James O'Connor with a chance to get Australia's first points of the match. Similar position to where his first kick was from, really. Probably a little bit further back. An opportunity for Australia to get their first points of the afternoon. It looks pretty good from James O'Connor. And it is. And Australia get on the board for the first time. Scotland 7, Australia 3 with about 40 seconds to go of this first half. And Curtly Beale is on the field. Someone we know very well in Australia, breaking our hearts many a time over the years.
It's not Curtly Beale, is it? Or that's not Curtly Beale.
It's not, sorry. It's not. Ignore me. Ignore me. I thought it was Curtly Beale. I was like, if he can break Welsh hearts, he can break Aussie hearts.
Break Scottish hearts, you mean?
Clearance, really. That's a poor clearance. And the ref blows for half-time. So at half-time, it is Scotland 7.
A bit early, but okay.
3. So half-time score at Murrayfield is Scotland 7, Australia 3. Myself and Carol are going to have a quick break. We'll be back in just a second to talk about that first half in a bit more detail and also look forward to the second half. So if you're watching, folks, and you haven't done so already, please do like the stream, subscribe to myself here, and go head over to Cap Starkey and subscribe there as well. And we'll see you in a second. See you. There we go. We are back. It is half time down at Murrayfield. Hope everyone is doing well. It is a cold Sunday here in the UK, but that's right. Scotland 7, Australia 3. If you're joining us on this watch long, welcome, welcome, welcome. Kyle will be back in just a second, but a try for Hamish Watson gave Scotland the lead. A disallowed try for Michael Hooper. A yellow card as well for the Aussies. And it is all going to be going down in the second half. Make sure if you're just joining us, hit the subscribe button. Folks, it's free to do. Thank you so much. We recently went past 1,800 subscribers. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the year. So with your help, we can do that. So please do hit that subscribe button. Free to do. Leave a like on the stream and get your thoughts on this game in the chat. Get your thoughts on the autumns in the chat as always. Kyle will be back with us just shortly. So we'll just wait to hear from him. He is back. He's ready to go. Let's get him back into building. Kyle, not a classic by any stretch of the imagination, but positive from Scotland, right?
Yeah, as I said during the live stream, just wish we were a bit further in front. Seeing plenty of positives. Obviously, the try was good, but I'd like to see us be a bit more slick with ball in hand and a bit more patient as well. I think a few times we've rushed it a bit. And with regards to the kicking, I understand with obviously the 50-22 thing and the goal lines, like there's a lot more of the kicks in behind to try and get in behind the opposition. And I want us to be a wee bit smarter with that. But on the whole, happy enough, and I think we can be a bit fortuitous. One could argue that we didn't concede a try at the end of that first half.
I do think we're both in agreement that it was a yellow card, though nothing malicious in it at all. I just think it was unfortunate that he made contact with the face. And let's just quickly look at some stats from that first half. So we'll quickly just share my screen so you'll be able to see that now. So possession-wise, Scotland leading in that department, 54-46, are pretty close. That territory is interesting, though, 35 to the 65% that the Australians have had. So a lot of the game being played in and around the Scottish half, but Australia unable to make any use of that. Look at that point/visit to the 22, 4 to Scotland, 0 to Australia on average. In open play, Both teams have kicked quite a bit. Scotland kicked 10% of their possession away, while the Aussies have kicked 14%. A couple of handling errors from both sides. Michael Hoop, I'm sure, is in charge of those 3 rucks lost. And I'm sure he's having a big effect there. But it's actually pretty equal all over the place, really. Again, Michael Hooper, turnovers won there. But both teams pretty close, really. What would be your message at half-time to the Scottish side? Is it keep the ball in hand more? Is it just try and run with it a bit more? Because that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking you've kicked that a little bit too much.
Yeah, and just be... just go a wee bit more pragmatic with ball in hand. Like, not try, because there's been times we've tried to force the play a bit too much, and just kind of let it come to us a bit more. Like, go through the phases, back the forwards to do the hard yards up front, and then just things will open up. But yeah, that's the main message, I think. And defensively, I think we're doing okay so far, but also need to be. Again, this comes back to the attack. Need to be cautious because obviously Australia, they do have the backs to break down anyone. And as we've seen a couple of times in that first half in broken play, they can be very dangerous.
Yeah, exactly. And let's have a talk about the other games that happened yesterday. So we'll go through them and we'll get your thoughts on them. So obviously it was round 2. A couple of the teams obviously having their first game. Wales and Scotland had games outside of the international window. The first game of the day saw Ireland beating Japan by 60 points to 5. We did a watch along here on the channel. I've got to say, I was really unimpressed by the Japanese. They just got battered up front. Obviously now Ireland's attention turns to the All Blacks. That's another level to go up. Did you catch any of the game? Have you seen any of the highlights?
I didn't see any of it, mate. I mean, I'm surprised it was the mauling it was, though.
Yeah.
I thought Japan would have definitely put up more of a fight than they did. But
yeah, definitely. Sexton obviously got his 100th cap, capped it off for the try, and a great performance from him. Tyke Furlong as well, getting 50 caps for Ireland yesterday, so a big achievement for them. And Ireland, as I said, will face Japan next week. The other game saw a second-string All Blacks team take on Italy in Rome. It was actually quite close at half-time. I think it was like 21-9 at half-time. But the All Blacks ended up running away with it, as they tend to do, not naming any teams. 47 points to 9, that one finished. And then the next game of the day saw England spank Tonga, 69 points to 3. And again, Tonga struggling at the minute, but you saw a little bit of that game. What did you make of it?
I think, obviously, Eddie is definitely trying to blood a New England, so to speak. I think he actually has shown a bit of balls in, obviously, leaving out a lot of the big players from previous squads, most notably George Ford not being in the team. And obviously, I know there's a couple of injuries as well. But no, I think Billy Vunipool obviously not picked either. But no, I think so there can be a lot of positives for England to take, especially when Marcus Smith came off the bench. I think that boy, the talent he has and the ability he has, he's someone that I think Eddie needs to just say. I think during the Six Nations, Eddie just needs to say like, look, you go out, you play your game, because as we know, like with Eddie Jones and his how he picks the team, he doesn't like number 10s too much. That's like a Danny Cipriani. I'm not saying Marcus Smith is exactly the same player, but he's similar. He doesn't like those kind of players who just like can play off the cuff and be a bit of a maverick. But I think Marcus Smith, like what he's capable of and how he would keep defenders on their toes at all times, you just think you've got to give this kid more of a chance. And with Owen Farrell outside of him for a bit more experience as well, it's or even Manu and Henry Slade, because I thought they played quite well together.
Yeah, I thought Manu was good yesterday, wasn't he? He looked pretty dangerous with ball in hand. The next game of the day, well, 18 points to 23. South Africa winning in Cardiff for the first time in a number of years. What did you make of that? Wales' performance was better, wasn't it? But the Springboks, were just that little bit too strong, weren't they?
Yeah. I think you covered it very well in your review. Why was the roof open, by the way?
COVID.
All right. Okay. Oh, yeah. Fair enough.
We'll
say, just say if it was closed and it was just purely rugby reasons, you might have a bit more of a. it might have been a bit more of a running game, but because obviously COVID, understandable. But of course. But yeah, I mean, obviously the weather I think didn't help in that it didn't make it like a sort of a wide game. But I thought Wales actually played very well. I was very impressed with Ellis Jenkins, especially up front. I thought he was excellent.
First game back starting for 3 years at an international level, and he goes and does that. Incredible performance from him. As you said, we were much better, but I just think the Springboks' dominance at the breakdown and at the scrum began to tell. And then obviously we actually defended, as you said to me before, we defended the driving maul very well throughout the game. I was really impressed by our timing of engaging and how we were managing to slow the momentum of that down, because I've obviously never played rugby at a high level, but with the driving maul, once the momentum gets going, it's very difficult to stop. And I think we did that very well until that last moment. We obviously face Fiji next week. Pivac has already said that he's going to ring the changes. Would you be cautious of how many changes you make, or would you be comfortable knowing that Wales will get the win here?
I think a bit of a mixed bag, really, because I mean Fiji. If you give them the ball in open play and they play or in broken play as well, then we know what they're capable of. But if Wales, again, I think I'd rotate a bit. I wouldn't overdo it. It's probably about 50-50. So I'd say about probably 6 to 9 changes would be about right. Maybe 10. But I mean, I think it's an opportunity to see what a lot of the more fringe players can offer to bring to the table. And of course, with sadly Alun Jones just now in the second row out just now. There's in the second row. There's going to be a few. There's going to be an opportunity there for somebody to step up and show what they can do. And but I think you should beat Fiji. But again, you don't want to give the Fijians, as you'll know yourself from your Wales's history against Fiji, 2007 World Cup. Trigger warning.
That's right in the back of my brain. I didn't want to bring it.
You don't want to be playing them too much at their own game.
I'll return the favour when you play Japan. Don't you worry about that. Let's quickly chat then.
The Japan one doesn't bother me so much. It's more when we lost to USA. That was the painful one. A couple of years ago.
And let's finally then, as the teams are coming out, talk about France against Argentina.
Sorry, I'll just say, Brandon, to make you feel a bit better, if there's any consolation to you, Gregor Townsend's first year in charge, we lost to Fiji as well, and we lost it largely because we tried to play them at their own game, and Finn Russell was called up for the lines, and we didn't have any control at number 10 throughout that whole match. So.
There we go. France 29, France 29, Argentina 20. You caught some of this game. I thought the second half really came alive. France playing some lovely stuff, but then sometimes shooting them themselves in the foot, being typically French. Quickly, what did you make of this game?
I don't know. I thought it was a good game to watch. Antoine Dupont for France stepped up as captain. I thought brilliantly. I think it was, I'm not sure the 10-12 between Halibert and Ntamak worked as well as they'd hoped. It was clear, they were trying to play a bit more expansive with them too, but it could be a tasty combination if they go for it again in future. And I was also impressed by a couple of the newbies in the French team. The fullback, I thought, had a very good game. And also that second row, pardon me for forgetting his name. He looks like who scored the first try. He looks like a beast of a player. Yeah,
indeed he does. The second half has just kicked off, folks. So of course 7 points to 3. Australia's still down to 14.
Flamini, that's his name.
That's his name. Yeah, an absolute monster of a player to come on, and he had really nice hands as well for France. So there we go. Make sure if you're watching, folks, and you just joined us, to subscribe here to BS Rugby. Also, check out Kyle's channel, Cap Starkey. I've dropped a link in the chat. Do head over there and subscribe. Quite a few more comments to get through. Andy's still back in Scotland to do it, 30 points to 27. We have a viewer from Chile. Lovely things to see worldwide. Fantastic to see that from there. Where to watch in the US, I'm not too sure, is the honest answer. Here in the UK, it's on Amazon Prime. So if you have a VPN...
They have that in the US. Sorry, Brent, they have that in the US as well.
I'm not sure if it's on the US version, though. But if you have a VPN, you can sort that out pretty easily. But you can stick around here, listen to our commentary, get our non-biased opinions on everything because we are super professional like that.
Both wearing the same logoed shirt.
Yeah, true. I still remember when Scotland played against England in the Six Nations, and our celebrations were completely non-biased to Scotland one, weren't they?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, advantage. Oh my gosh, that was a big hit.
Oh, come on, I was knocked off. Oh, let's go.
I'd want to check that whoever took that hit, it might have been Darcy Graham.
Yeah, I think it was just an aerial clash between the two.
Yeah. Australia do look dangerous when they manage to counter, but they just haven't had enough opportunities to do that. Oh, Flo have it in the USA, so that's where you can watch it.
Okay. No.
So there we go.
Yeah, I'll just say I'm not all that clued. I thought they had it, but I'm not all that clued up with how Amazon Prime works in the US compared to how
VPN works wonders. You can get it do that way. So scrum to Scotland, it will be for the knock-on on their own 22. Just a couple of players getting some treatment.
So what I'm saying about broken play, Australia can be dangerous. So
very much so, yeah.
We need to tighten up a bit. A lot, I should say.
Yeah. Australia's still down to 14 men, though. Not too long left to go on that. About 3, maybe 4 or 5 minutes to go on that. Not long to go on that. So scrum to Scotland in their own 22. You'd assume they'd look to clear their lines here. And they probably have had the dominance in the scrum just about, you'd say.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of penalties have gone against us, but it's been... Yeah, I think we've had slightly dominance, but it's not been...
It's a bit all over the place, that scrum. Oh, that's a massive hit coming in from Sam Johnson. Oh, it's knocked down by Hogg. And scrum to Australia just outside the 22. That's a huge hit coming in from Sam Johnson.
I think the referee is going to have a look at that.
You think he's led with a forearm or something, potentially?
I don't know. I didn't get a clear view of. It was a big hit, yeah, but I mean, I didn't get a clear view.
Have a look. We can't see it in quick time, in normal time. Here we go on the slow-mo. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a clash of heads.
Has he wrapped properly?
Oh, it's a tough one.
He has to make a clear attempt to wrap.
Well, he's going off for HIA anyway.
Aye.
So change coming for Australia here. Forced change for them.
Yeah.
Angus Bell will replace. Tupou.
Oh, so they've got 2 loose head props on the pitch now.
Yes. But scrum to Australia just up to 22, I'd assume now, from that knock-on. I assume that's where we'll play on from.
Right.
So scrum, indeed, to Australia. Maybe a little bit too much trying to play there from Scotland. Trying to play a little bit too much.
I can see what we're trying to do, just because there was an opportunity out wide, just didn't execute it very well. And are they going to uncontested or?
So scrum, Australia on the right-hand side of the field, right on the 22. So really good platform to build from. But Australia needs to secure their ball. The scrum has been an issue for them. That scrum is holding up. White gets it out. Harise carries well, makes a few meters. Nick White. Oh, it's a lovely angle, and Australia is straight over try.
Ah. Ah, Leota.
Good finish, but it just opened up like the Red Sea there. Lovely finish for the Aussies. And Australia, through Rob Leotoa, have got their first try of the game and an opportunity. Well, they have gone ahead with that. Another simple one.
No, well worked.
It's a lovely angle, but the defence maybe be questioned a little bit.
I'll have to watch that back. I didn't.
There's a little gap he gets in between Schumann and Gilchrist, I think.
Yeah, Sam Skinner stepped out a bit.
So Australia get the first.
Sam Skinner looks a bit indecisive there. Didn't look like he knew whether he should have stepped out or should have drifted. He just and got caught out.
Extend the lead to 3 points, which he does as well. So Australia 10, Scotland 7. 45 minutes gone in this game. 5 minutes of the second half. The Aussies take the lead for the first time.
And he's missed. Oh, he's got it. No, he got it.
Leotoa getting over for the Aussies. And it's a brilliant line that he chooses.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the sin binning is over as well for Australia.
Starting again.
Right, off we go again. What time are you on the game, mate?
Sorry?
What time are you on with the game?
Time I on? 46 and 10.
Okay. Cool.
Right. All right. Give me, Brandon, give me a wee minute. I need to change my headphones because I'm getting a bad ring in these ones. 2 minutes.
So Kyle will go and sort his headphones out. Scotland breakthrough. Sam Johnson, there's a chance here for Scotland. Ali Price cuts inside. But he doesn't have the support that he needs. Just as Kyle leaves, it looks like Scotland are going to score. Hooper tries to get over the ball. He is pulled away. Ali Price gives it to Finn Russell. Finn Russell into Ferguson, and he's knocked it on. An advantage to the Aussies on their own 5-metre line. And they will look to clear here. Kyle is back and has just missed all the excitement. You just missed the biggest chance you've had all game.
What is it?
You may get a chance to rewatch it on the replay, but it's a lovely break. Ali Price takes a lovely step at his court, and you have an overlap, but Ferguson knocks it on.
Oh.
Yeah, you'll see the replay in just a second now. It's a lovely break from Johnson originally.
Yeah. That's better. You hear me okay?
Yeah, I hear you all good, mate. Loud and clear.
Oh, 1 second.
Can you not hear me?
No, I can hear you now. Sorry. There's some ringing. I don't know why. There's some ringing going on in my headphones just now.
It's not coming through on our side, so.
All right. Okay. No. It's just a noise. I'll live with it.
So line out to Scotland anyway. And that was a big opportunity there to retake the lead, but it wasn't to be. Oh, scrum to Scotland, to Australia from the original knock-on.
Okay.
So scrum to Australia on their own 5 metre. Now they struggled in the scrum, so you'd assume Scotland are going to attack this.
Aye. Well, they weren't too bad on that one where they got the try from.
True.
Aye.
Well, Scotland do attack it, but they do get it out quickly. Nick White has his players to protect him as he sets up the box kick, which he lets go, but it's not really got any distance on it. And it will be a line out to Scotland. Just like you think. Let me just double check this then. I'm saying there's some squeaky noise coming through. I'll just mute myself just to double.
1 2 1 2.
Okay, there is something coming through. You okay? I'll mute the TV. That might be what it is.
Yeah.
Let us know if. Let me double check. See.
Hi, folks. Technical difficulties. Keep leaving your comments. I'll try and keep you entertained while Brandon is fixing his shit. Oh, he's back. He's back.
It's gone. It's gone. There we go. The squeaking is gone.
Oh,
It's
good,
gone.
good.
I just refreshed. So I've double checked. It is now gone. Do let us know in the chat that 100% has gone. Apologies about that, folks. Didn't quite realise that was an issue. But I hope that is now fixed anyway.
I thought I was getting away with bad mouthing you behind your back there, but
there we go. It is gone. Thank you, Tynus. Thank you for letting us know that. So 50 minutes gone. Australia 10, Scotland 7. There we go. Scrum to Australia, and on comes Will Skelton from Sally's. Big ball carrier.
He's at La Rochelle now, isn't he?
He's at La Rochelle. Sorry, he was formerly in Sally's, wasn't he?
Yeah. I'll double. Just to spare my blushes of being looking.
I'm pretty sure he's. I'm pretty sure he's at La Rochelle.
Yes, La Rochelle, because I remember he was at last season. He was a beast for them. So
absolutely. There we go. So scrum to Australia, just outside their own 22, and Scotland have attacked every single scrum, and they're attacking it again. Nick White does get it out though. James O'Connor, and they'll go through the back line here. They do decide to put boot to ball. Is it too much? It's an interesting kick. Back and forth between Hogg and Callaway, I believe it was, but
penalty. What was that? What was that for?
Offside potentially. In front of the kicker, I assume.
Yeah. I think it was. And then that's where the ball bounced to a block.
There we go. Line out to Scotland just inside the 22 then of Australia. Hamish Watson peels off the back. Ali Price looks inside, but is absolutely clattered. Ball is there, but I think someone's over that.
Yes, fair enough.
And it is.
That was a big hit from the 12.
Question here for us both. During halftime, Schalkberg and Jean de Villiers were debating the yellow card. Your thoughts on referees blowing to the letter of the law or intent of action? I think you've got to go with the law book, but there is always mitigation, isn't there? And with that, I think the mitigation was just slightly clipped him on the chin. Therefore, it was only a yellow.
Yeah. I mean, I go with that as well. Again, it's always these things you anything contact around the head, it is in the directive. You start at red and then you go by mitigating factors aside from that. And I think obviously because there was head contact, Romain Poit had to take that into consideration, that it was at very least a yellow and then go from that. But again, I think I think he can feel a bit hard done by, because I didn't think there was, even though he went in with the arm, I didn't think there was intent to catch Fagerson on the head as he did. So.
Yeah, no, I think we're in agreement. Dwayne, what was the score with the Black Ferns? Do let us know what happened with that game.
Yeah.
But Scotland called for the mark, as Darcy Graham calls for it. So we're 50 minutes into the game. I thought it'd be interesting to have a look at the bench of Scotland. Let me just remove the banner at the bottom. Is there anyone on that list that you'd be looking to bring on anytime soon? Kyle Steyn, potentially?
Yeah, I think he'll come on. Maybe for Chris Harris, actually, because Chris Harris had a pretty quiet game today by his standards. I think depending how the game goes, maybe Hastings on and having Russell on as well as the sort of 10-12 to maybe open things up a bit. But again, that's just depending on what the scoreline is a bit later on. If we need a bit more injection there. And the forwards, I know Ashman's on right now. There's nothing. No one really stands out to me, I think. I know both the props are powerful carriers, but there's no one really stands out to me who thinks, they know they'll absolutely get them on. But
it's a lovely kick from Hamish Watson there. Lovely spiral kick.
Finn Russell.
Finn Russell. Gosh, too many names. Too many names. I've done 3 watch-alongs this weekend. Too many names. Scotland have won that line out, though. The driving ball is set. Ashman at the back in the 22. Going sideways, though. And they do get it out. Ali Price to Johnson. Johnson into Finn Russell. Finn Russell into Hogg. Lovely step from him. Chance for Johan van der Merwe goes to the corner. What a tackle from
come on!
Great tackle, but the ball is still there for Scotland. Australia's defence
gets isolated.
Ali Price.
Got a penalty advantage at least.
You've got to try something here. Finn Russell steps inside, gets the offload off beautifully. Darcy Graham trying to step, gets up to the 5-metre line.
Come on.
Chance here for Scotland. Still 5 metres out. They spread it out wide. Hogg spreads it out. The interception comes. Is the advantage over? Yes, it is. No, it's not. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
We'll come back anyway for the original penalty. Are you able to turn your the TV down? Because I think it's
sure. Yes.
Is that okay? Cheers, mate.
Yeah.
What do Scotland do here? Do you think you go for the corner, or do you think you take the points?
No, I'd go for the points. Just get it back to 10 each and
work from there.
Then go from there. Yeah.
What a tackle this is from Nick White on Van der Merwe.
Yeah,
he doesn't make that; he scores, doesn't he? So.
Oh, that's a brilliant tackle.
We're just loving the fact that Finn Russell throwing some beautiful dummies. Can we get TMO check that tea Brandon is drinking? It's Yorkshire tea. It's Yorkshire tea, I got to say. It's Yorkshire tea. Not a fan of Welsh brew. Not a fan of Welsh brew whatsoever. Are you a Tetley's man? What are you?
Standard Yorkshire English breakfast.
Good lad.
Yeah, sometimes decaf in the evenings. But
you're not an Earl Grey man or anything strange like that?
Yeah, pardon my language. So that. my mum is, but I'm just like, I do not get that at all. So.
I never realised you'd be so passionate about which tea you drink.
I'm very straightforward. It's just all these extra kind of. From what I've gathered,
and all this kind of stuff. And what is iced tea? What is that about? Tea's not meant to be cold.
I've tried that. I think it was a strawberry iced tea I tried once. It was absolutely minging. It might have just been the bad luck I had from where I got it from, but no, I'm no iced tea drinker. It's just plain and simple, normal cups of tea for me.
Yeah, same. Absolutely.
I've heard that Chinese green tea is very nice, which
I've say I've tried it. There we go. Rugby channel. Who thought we'd be debating tea on here? So we are indeed. A scrum to Scotland then on the 5-metre line of Australia. Plenty of options. They've actually brought 2 players out to the left of the scrum on the blind side. So interesting to see what the play will be here. Interesting to see that they've gone for the scrum as well.
Yeah,
scrum, isn't it? That's the thing, and you've been very attacking in the scrum.
Yeah, I just hope this doesn't come back to bite us, because I would have. There's a couple of opportunities in the first half as well. I thought we should have gone for the points, but it's one of those things. If we get points off this, we're geniuses. If we don't.
It worked last time, though. It worked last time with Hamish Watson.
Aye.
So, and the dominance as the scrum. So off we go. Ball goes in from Ali Price. Scrum goes down. Advantage to Scotland, though. Chance to play here. Ball comes out to Duhan van der Merwe, but it's slowed down a bit. He's managed to get himself free, though. He's done well. Still advantage. Ali Price to Finn Russell. Finn Russell spreads it out. Hogg tackled and the ball goes out. And if I was Scotland, I'd be in the scrum here. Just reset the scrum, go again, look potentially for a yellow. Or is it take points now? What are you saying?
I think they'll go for the scrum because we've seen that the advantage is there. But
I think they target James Slipper, don't they? Keep targeting him because he is struggling.
Yeah. No, is that
they're going to tap and go.
Oh, are they? All right. Okay, fair enough.
I think so.
As long as they're coming away with this.
No, they're calling for the scrum now. They're calling for the scrum.
All right, okay. Aye.
So they're going for the scrum. So just over 20 minutes to go in this one. Australia leading 10 points to 7. But Scotland putting the pressure on here. And they've decided to go for the scrum again. Roman Poit might be thinking about potential yellow card shortly if this continues.
Yeah,
lots of penalties, hasn't he? He's given a lot.
Or penalty tries in this territory.
Scrum once again, advantage to Scotland. They keep the ball in the scrum. Out to Ali Price now. Duhan van der Merwe up to the 5-metre line. Ali Price switches the play. Opportunity here, 1 metre out or so. Comes to Schumann. Schumann into Ashman, and I think he might have got there. He thinks he scored. Dan Ashman.
Oh, that's tight. That is tight.
Dan Ashman thinks he scored. My initial reaction was no.
That's tight. TMO. That's a tight
TMO will check this. Dan Ashman thinks he scored for Scotland. In the corner. It'd be a big moment.
Yeah. It didn't look conclusive at all to me from first viewing.
Let's have a look. We're looking here. Is he in touch? He's okay there. He's okay there. He's okay there. He's okay there. Do you know what? I think he scored that.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I think he has.
I think that's a heck of a finish for a hooker. Diving in the corner.
I think he's
got control on the ball.
Yeah, it's just make sure his feet don't, or his leg doesn't touch the ground as he. Oh, that's a try. That looks a try.
I think that's a try. I think this is going to be given. I think Scotland are going to retake the lead here through a try by Dan Ashman. And the try is given. Roman Poit signals that's a try. Yes, he is okay there. He is indeed. And Scotland retake the lead. Dan Ashman, I believe, first try for Scotland.
Ewan Ashman, yes, his first try for Scotland. That's a Louis Rees-Zammit like finish.
Yeah, diving in the corner, Brian Habana style.
Aye.
Great finish. Good hands from Schumann as well, but really good strength from Ashman and a heck of a finish as well. 12 points down. And it's been coming. It's been coming, that try, hasn't it? And maybe in a weird way for Australia, it's kind of good that it's happened because they were looking at a certain yellow if nothing had happened there, I think. So
very possibly. I think
tough kick for Finn Russell.
Yeah, I think he's just missed it. Yeah,
just missed indeed. So it makes 12 points to 10. So it's still a very tight game going into this final 20 minutes. What a finish. We've just seen the replays back here. It's a great finish from him in the corner.
Yeah.
You would not expect a hooker to be finishing like that. Who says props can't move their feet? Beautiful.
No, it's just a good brain, that. Just knowing where the touchline is and knowing when to put your
Stain is on for Darcy Graham. What do you make of that change?
I think it was coming. I personally would have maybe put him on for Chris Harris instead, because I think Chris Harris has been quite quiet by, as I said earlier, I think he's been quite quiet today by his standards. I think he's definitely, Kyle Stain deserves his run, and see how he goes.
Yeah. Leotoa is also off for Australia with Samu replacing him, so that change has also gone through. Chance for Australia to attack. Kellaway with ball in hand. He's been pretty quiet today.
He's been very quiet, very quiet. I've hardly heard a peep from him.
And ball lost. Chance for Scotland to potentially counter here.
Right.
Oh, and the ball's going everywhere. And who knows what's going on right now. I think it'll be a scrum to Scotland, though, from the knock-on.
Was he given?
Was it a knock-on, or was it just a steal at the breakdown?
I think it was just a steal, unless... I don't know. Sorry.
I don't think Roman Platt knows either. I don't think he knows. He might be giving them the option. He might be giving them the option.
Is he looking at something? I don't know if he's looking at something that's happened, or he's just had a word with Michael Hooper over.
Yeah. I'm not too sure what he's looking for. 20 minutes to go then. If you were Gregor, what would be the message to the players at this point?
Keep it in Australia's half. Just for the rest of the game, just keep it right down in their half. And
do you think the tactic would be to try and run it, or would it be just play very tactically, carefully, kick well, look for the spaces?
Just, more pragmatic. Just keep it in their half and do nothing loose, nothing, no loose passes, no, no drop balls that are in areas where the broken play can happen. Just make sure you're accurate in handling. I have no idea. What is he? Is he looking at something, or is he?
I don't think he is. I think we're just going to continue. No, line out to Australia. The driving wheel set. Not sure what I think the delay was there potentially for the injury there, but
yeah, I think so. Yeah, Sam Skinner was that.
I think everyone is okay, and the driving ball starts to move for Australia. Nick White at the back of it. Is he going to get it out? Will the forwards let him have it? Yes, they will. Finally. They go to the backs. There's a little bit of space out wide here. Good tackle there. And Stain turned that over. What a turnover.
Yeah.
Oh, my word. That's a great turnover.
Excellent.
Duran van der Merwe runs into traffic. Scotland on the halfway line here. Leading by 2 points. Good hands, Johnson. Gets it out to Stain. Sorry, not Stain, Harris.
Nice.
But penalty to Australia.
Isolated.
Valentini was the man over the ball.
Yeah, I thought Harris ran into a bit of no man's land there.
Well, we're just watching this turnover once again from Stain. You just thought it was Michael Hooper. What a turnover. Or Ellis Jenkins. Both are all right, aren't they? I can't believe I just compared Ellis Jenkins to Michael Hooper, but I have. I have done that. He's going on the right way, isn't he? He's going the right way.
The thing is that also, Brandon, with Ellis Jenkins, because he had that horrific injury he picked up 3 years ago. And if he hadn't picked up an injury, he might have been talking about him as one of the best sevens in the world right now. Because I remember him at that game. I think he was man of the match. I can't remember. I thought his performance before he got injured that particular game was outstanding. I thought this kid's definitely got something. So
and he's been brilliant for Cardiff this season as well. So he's very much deserving. And he was captain for a bit of the game as well yesterday, which is nice to see. Australia attacking here. Kellaway on the left-hand side of the field, up towards the 22 now for Australia, moving through the gears. Big Will Skelton carries. Ball is still there though for Australia. Goes back to James O'Connor. Australia just look a little bit void of ideas, would you say?
No. O'Connor's had a weird game. He's not
done anything, has he?
Well, that's the thing. He's not really controlling the game from 10 as you expect a 10 to do. He's just kind of acting. He's just been kind of acting as first or second receiver without actually giving that much direction to those round about him.
Yeah. So Scotland have pushed the Aussies back 10 metres or so, but it is a penalty to Australia. Right into the post. Hamish Watson penalised off his feet potentially.
Yeah.
And if you're Australia, you're taking the points here because you really haven't been in the game for the past, this second half, really, except for the try that they got.
Mm-hmm.
And I think O'Connor is stepping up to take this, and it looks like he is. Right in front of the post, it's about 30 metres out.
I'll just be a second, Brandon. I'm going to turn my light on because it's getting quite dark here.
Perfect. So just over 15 minutes to go, folks. If you're watching, you're not yet subscribed, please do hit the subscribe button. It's free to do. Helps grow the channel. Scotland here, though. 15 minutes to go. Penalty to Australia just in front of the posts. But a bit of a distance on it, but should be a simple enough kick for James O'Connor. It's a bit of a weird phase Australia are going through with their 10s. Quade Cooper, now James O'Connor, two throwback players who kind of went into the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
But chance here.
Well, the thing is with Quade Cooper, because he's a bit of a maverick, he was, not really, and he obviously, because, he is that kind of player, some coaches haven't favoured him, and I know he's had a few injuries as well, so. But
James O'Connor steps up and is successful. And Australia retake the lead at Murrayfield, and the changes are being made by Scotland. We'll confirm them as they come through. Scotland 12, Australia 13. Batty on for Schumann, Ollie Kebble on for Xander Fagerson. No shock to see the front row being changed, is there really?
No, it's about that time when it's changed. I would have kept Xander on because he's had a very good game. I think they have changed Slipper now, though. Australia. Yeah,
Slipper off for Alatoa, who has come on. So Australia with the very narrow lead here at Murrayfield, and we have restarted. They have the ball just outside the 22, and they're going to look to clear here. But not long to go left in this one. I think we're in for a nervy 15 minutes or so. But you don't want to start risking things too much now. There's still plenty of time in this game, isn't there? So you don't want to go.
Well, what get back in the leads? That's
true.
The main thing.
So line outs here to the Australians on their own 10-metre line. 14 minutes to go. Curly Beale is actually now coming on. Oh, he's broken my heart so many times. So many times. I think he did it 2 or 3 times. There were like 3 years on the bounce in Cardiff where Australia came to us, and he kept doing it. So Beale on for Wright on the wing, and then McDermott on for Nick White. So potentially, does Curly Beale go to the centre, or does he go onto the wing? He might go to fullback.
Sorry, Brandon, who's he come on for again?
For the winger, I think. So for Wright, I think it is. So I assume Beale will go to fullback and Kellaway will go to the wing.
Yeah, I think that is. Yeah, they dropped that in the ball. Come on, Roman.
So Australia ringing the changes. Scotland still have a few backs they could bring on. They could bring on the likes of Adam Hastings. Could change the scrum half. George Horn. Tate McDermott on for Australia instead of Nick White. That change has been made as well. So scrum to Scotland. Good position for them on the 10-metre line of the Aussies in their half.
Come on.
And the scrum goes down, so we'll have a reset. So it's reset. The nerves setting in yet, or you're not too bad?
At the moment, not too bad. Give it another 5 minutes or so. If it's still the same scoreline, yes, I'll probably be bricking it a bit.
Penalty to Scotland at the scrum.
Yes. Now, just take the 3.
Kyle certainly has made his opinion very clear there. What are they going to do? And they are going for the points. Finn Russell will step up to hopefully give Scotland the lead once again. And that was actually spotted by the touch judge. Not by the touch judge, by the linesman.
Oh, that's a...
It's a tough one, isn't it? It is a tough one. Yeah.
It looks like it was a tight. I think it was Kebble. I think he looked like he went down first, and I'm not sure if that was the referee was looking at the impact of the Australian 17 going in there. So
Finn Russell lining up for the post. 66 people currently watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. It's free to do, and of course head over to Capstarkey and subscribe there as well. There is a link in the chat. Finn Russell steps up. It looks good, and it's good. And Australia are now behind Scotland. Take the lead. 15 points to 13. It's still a 2-point game. It's still close as we edge towards the final 10 minutes. Scotland leading at Murrayfield by 2 points. And off we go again. Interested to see what the game plan will be from both sides now. The next score feels pretty important in this one. As Australia restarts and Ali Price will look to clear this one. I've been so impressed by Ali Price. Over the last year, the growth, the development of this guy. He's now one of the best scrum halves in the world. I don't think that's a ridiculous thing to say.
I'm a bit cautious about saying that, but no,
he's not on the level of DuPont, obviously, or Faf or someone like that, but he's in the next bracket.
Well, that's the thing against Faf and the Lions. He did very well to contain him for large parts of that tour. So,
he's
really come on. I think, especially the Lions tour, he stepped up a lot better than I thought he was going to. I'm really pleased with just how he's matured in the past 6-7 months or so.
He's become a leader, hasn't he? He was obviously the co-captain last week. I think he's captained Glasgow a few times over the past season or so. So he's done very well. Australia attacking it up to the 10-metre line. The one criticism I would have of Australia is they just don't, except for the try that they've scored, which is quite important. They haven't really looked like they're going to create anything else, have they? To be honest. I think they've struggled a little bit in that sense.
Not that much. I mean, they've had a couple of, as we mentioned earlier, they've had a couple of moments in broken play when they've looked dangerous. But in terms of actually creating stuff, I think you're right. They've not really been all that, and that's where I think James O'Connor has been disappointed that he's either mostly seemed to have played as second receiver or as or he's kicked in behind, and
he just looks like he's been a bit of a link man. He's either just thrown the pass out or just kicked it. He hasn't really done anything like Finn Russell looking for that 50-22 or looking to step inside or looking to make something happen.
Well, he's not really like controlling a game like a 10 you'd expect a 10 to do.
He's more of a 15, isn't he, really? Well, he can play it off the back line, truly, but... Hamish Watson off for Scotland.
Obviously, with James O'Connor, don't get me wrong, he's a very talented rugby player, but I just think as a 10, he seems often out of his depth from what I see of him. So
no, I agree. So Bayliss on for Hamish Watson, Ali Price off, Horn replaces him. Thoughts on those changes? You happy with that?
I mean, Josh Bayliss, obviously Bath forward. Good to get him on the pitch and get him capped by us, and and I think I don't think we'll lose him that much bringing George Horn on, I think. So.
And George Horn may speed the game up a little bit. He's quite a quick scrum half. You'll look for those sniping runs a little bit more, I think.
Yeah.
So 9 minutes to go. Scotland leading by 2 points, 15-13. Line outs for them on the halfway line. And they lose the ball. Australia steal it at the line outs. Potential chance to counter here. Ball out to Curly Beale. He looks up and sends it downfield. Not the greatest plan when Stuart Hoggs is set to catch it. But he sends the kick back down. It's not the greatest kick from him. Kellaway looks up. Oh, knocked on. Was it? Or did he go backwards?
Off the foot, I think.
Off the foot. Great control. Maybe he should be playing for Rangers instead. We won't get into that debate.
I don't even know what the debate is, to be honest. I've not been keeping up with it.
George Horn sends the box kick. Well taken by James O'Connor. I'm quite surprised that Scotland haven't challenged more at the breakdown. It doesn't feel like they've really looked to try and jackal the ball all that much.
We've had our moments, but yeah, in terms of consistency with it, we probably. Oh, come on, yes.
Holding the man up. Quade Cooper has gone down, but Australia aren't able to get it down quick enough, and so Scotland have a penalty. And surely they take the points here.
No, it's a scrum, Brandon.
Scrum, sorry. As you can see, my knowledge of rugby lords is quite something.
You only do this every week, so I think.
Yeah. It's not like I've been watching rugby since I was 5, is it? No.
No, it's
Quade Cooper running into a bit of trouble there.
Curtly Beale.
Oh my gosh.
You have had a long weekend, haven't you?
I have had a very long weekend. Adam Hastings, I got that right, is on the pitch for who, though, is the question. Doesn't look like Finn Russell is moving.
I think it's Chris. Is that Chris
Johnson? Sam Johnson going off.
Sam Johnson going off. Okay. Yeah.
So Hastings goes into the centre, or Finn goes into the centre. Who do you think will go?
I think they'll interlink. Yeah. And that's clearly, I think, more to try and make sure we keep the territory. And if we get a bit of creativity, and things open up, so be it. But
yeah. So scrum to Scotland on just about the halfway line. 7 minutes or so to go in this one. Scotland leading by 2 points. So decent attacking position for the home side. Horn will feed the scrum. It's a better scrum from Australia, but everyone is stood up and it goes up. Oh, I felt that should have gone Scotland's way.
Yeah. Again, it's obviously Roman's inconclusive as to how that actually went up. He obviously saw it as both of them.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you have to obviously just go with your gut and say.
So they'll reset the scrum.
But I hope he. Yeah.
2 points in it. Not much at all. I don't think James O'Connor's got the biggest boots on him, has he either?
Well, they've got Curtly there as well.
No.
He's pretty big.
Yeah. True. Yeah, I've been quite disappointed with the Wallabies today, I must say. They haven't really threatened all that much.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they've obviously had their moments, but on the whole, they've not really.
I think they've really missed Karevi, haven't they, in the centre, where he's able to just get over the gain line.
Yeah, I think Quade Cooper as well, obviously missed. Cause...
It's a better scrum from Australia. The shove comes on from them. Where's that?
Pick up, you bastard! Just pick the bloody ball up!
Penalty to Australia!
Is it? Oh, for God's sake.
And it's a huge drive. And after all the pressure during the game in the scrum, finally Australia get on top and get the penalty. And Horn just took way too long to put that in, you felt.
No, he's obviously gone with the... He's gone with a pack of 4 momentum there.
So penalty to Australia. And they're down to just outside the 22 with the lineouts. Now, we haven't seen enough creativity from them. And from Kyle's perspective, he'll be hoping we don't see any. But we await to see. The maul has worked well, and it starts to move. Slowly creeping towards the 22. Jamie Ritchie has to go back. Advantage here, I think.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
Stop once.
So Australia, just outside the 22. What a steal that is.
Yes.
Scotland have an opportunity on the advantage here. Finn Russell runs it. Looks out wide. Plays into Hogg. Hogg, lovely feet from him. Inside ball here to Horn. Horn throws the dummy. He's tackled just inside the 22.
Oh.
Hogg acts as scrum half. Gets it out to Hastings. Hastings into Finn Russell. Finn Russell tries the cross kick. It's too much. And
no, you should have just kept it in hand, man.
And not quite working enough there. Great steal, though, from
Bayliss.
Scotland there. Lovely counter, but then...
Why did Finn kick it?
Yeah, I'm not too sure. The thing is, the pass into him wasn't great. It was a little bit too...
Yeah, but still
the decision to kick was interesting.
Aye.
And he absolutely...
he had the time and the players outside. Yeah. He should have just... If it was a bit slow, he should have just chunked it. Got Gilchrist just to chunk it up a bit.
Discipline here for Scotland's going to be important off this driving maul. Otherwise, Australia will look to send it down. I got to say, Scotland's discipline on the whole today has been really good.
Yeah, I think so too. Oh no! Don't jump in like that.
As we say that, Scotland give away.
that was just shut up, okay? Just shut up. That was just no. Sorry, that was just absolutely stupid. Why are you jumping in like that just to go for? You can't do that.
Exactly. It's a little bit like Tame Basham's penalty. Oh, he's missed touch. Oh, is that going to be a 50-22? No, it's going to stay in. Curly Beale with the ball in his own 22. Sends it up. And it will go out. Was he in the 22 when he kicked that? I think he was.
Oh, I'm the fool.
Was he in the 22? Or was he out of the 22 when he kicked it?
Oh, he was inside. Okay.
Yeah, I thought he was just about inside.
And the touch judge made a rookie error there. He put the arm out the wrong way.
Good scrum contest coming next week when the Boks fly in for a visit. That'll be an interesting game. And this game is even more tense than the Boks versus Wales. Well, 2 points in it. A minute and a half to go. Scotland do have the ball.
Just keep it tight. Nothing silly. Oh, yeah. Come on, get the roll on. Get the roll on. No, never mind.
Russell, has that gone forward? It's gone backwards, says Roman Poit. So we continue. Scotland just inside their own half.
Just keep it in. Didn't they overdo it?
And they're going through the forwards now. Yes, oh, no, penalty to Scotland. It is penalty to Scotland. Coming in at the side, I think it is. And that might be the game for Scotland.
Just keep it down in their half. And
I thought Hooper had got over that one. I thought he'd done it then when Roman Pratt blew his whistle there. We're into the final minute then.
Oh, someone's gone down with cramp. Why? Just get the hell up.
15 points to 13. Make sure, folks, that you're subscribed to the channel here if you're watching. And, of course, subscribe to Kyle's channel. You're going to be doing a quick reaction after this one, mate?
I don't have I hope I'll do a quick one, yes.
Yeah, so do head over there after this game and check that out.
It will be quick because I'm a bit pressed for time because be heading out after we are finished here.
So Finn Russell sends this one down. Really now it's, the clock is ticking. You win this ball and you just kick it out, don't you? That's the plan.
Just go through a few phases, yeah.
Yeah. 20 seconds to go. Scotland leading. And they just need to secure this line-out ball, and you think that would probably be enough. And they do. Jamie Ritchie collects it. 5 seconds to go.
That's it. Just keep it in. Nothing silly.
Clock's in the red now. George Horn can kick this off, which he does. And Scotland are victorious against the Aussies at Murrayfield. Scotland 15, Australia 13. Full-time score. It's victory for the Scots. I know you're pressed for time, Kyle, but how do you summarise that win for your boys?
Tense. I'm happy with the win. Yeah, I mean, obviously a few things to work on. It'll be a different challenge against the Box next week, but no, happy enough. We'll take a win against any of the three big boys any day, and hopefully more good days to come.
Absolutely, absolutely. Great result for Scotland. They continue unbeaten throughout this Autumn Nation Series. Of course, they play against the Box next week. I'll do a watch long for that. You're welcome to join, by the way, mate, if you're free.
I'll see what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm free or
absolutely. But there we go. That is where we're going to leave it. Congratulations to Scotland. Do go check out Kyle's channel. I've just dropped a link in the chat now. He will make a reaction to this just after the game, so do head over there and subscribe. Make sure to subscribe here on BS Rugby. Loads of videos over the next week leading up to next weekend's, and there is going to be a video out tonight, tactical look at Wales against South Africa with Ben from Ruck and Roll Rugby, so looking forward to that. Anyway, that's where we're going to leave it. Scotland 15, Australia 13. On to the Box next week. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Kyle, as always, mate, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on. Always a pleasure, always good fun. And we're going to leave it there. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and we'll see you soon here on BS Rugby.